Big Duck Energy. Guess what? I am going to show you how to make millions of dollars in your spare time. Millions. Yes, millions. That's my end goal. See, I'm driving right now. What you don't see, well, now you can, is me delivering pizzas. Delivering pizzas, I make $50 to $100 on a Sunday night. I do it one night a week. Maybe my wife doesn't fully appreciate what I'm doing, but I'm becoming a millionaire. How am I becoming a millionaire? By delivering pizzas one night a week. Well, that $50 that I'm going to make tonight, I'm going to invest in E-Trade. I'm going to buy some penny stocks. Now, I've done some research on my penny stocks. I believe in the companies full-heartedly. I have to because at $6.95 a trade, I don't plan on day trading the shit. Looking for the next big thing before it's a big thing. Most of the companies I'm invested in have been sued at least once by investment attorneys. I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing when I'm looking through financial reporting and SEC reports. They're basically car accident attorneys looking for anybody that's lost money, and people get sour grapes when they lose money. When you invest in a stock, especially one that doesn't have a product yet, expect it to take time before they have a product. Especially if you're into biopharm or technology. Sometimes the company has no product to sell for years. I don't know. If you go in expecting that, you're going to be a lot better off whenever nothing ever happens. Because a lot of times, a lot of the stocks that I'm into right now, nothing happens. It moves a penny here or a penny there. But the good thing is, Coronas this previous Friday went up 17%. And how much does it go up to go 17%? It went up 2 cents on the day. So 2 cents on the day, 17% return. Now, does every company have returns like that? No. You're going to buy on the wrong end of it sometimes. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of you that would never buy on the wrong end and you always get it right. I'm not that guy. I usually buy on the wrong end. I've got all kinds of beautiful stories about buying the peak and selling the dip. That's why I'm kind of getting out of Robinhood, kind of getting out of WeBull, and I know myself and I'm impatient, and people always say poke it with a stick. Well, that's kind of what I feel like doing most of the time. So I found when I put my money in E-Trade, I don't poke it with a stick. I watch it, but I don't poke it. On Robinhood, I'm just too easy to swap a share out, take the loss, move on, and think you're going to do better on the next one, which you never do. Alright, anyway, whatever I happen to make tonight, that goes directly into my E-Trade. Looking to cash out on some penny stocks in about 5 years. I mean, it's not something I day trade. It costs $6.95 a trade, so I think about what I'm going to buy and I don't move it around, which is probably why I do. I'm not going to say better, but I think long term I'll be doing better than I do in Robinhood or WeBull or Doe, any other crap I trade around for free and just swap shares for, take gains to make losses. That's kind of what I've been doing lately. Not the best trader, but investment-wise, penny stocks, I follow a few. I think I've got 6 or 7 companies that I follow, and I honestly believe that accumulating a whole bunch of shares is going to serve me and my family well in a few years, and that's why I do it. I'm willing to sacrifice a few hours Sunday night to go make a little bit of money and just throw it in the E-Trade. What do I do on E-Trade? I trade penny stocks. I don't buy anything. My most expensive stock is $1.24 in my purchase price. Most of them are under 20 cents. I kind of like the idea of getting in very early, or in some cases it's very late. And these stocks have been pumped up, and investors before me have paid for a lot of the research and development, and these companies are getting close, I believe, to doing big things. What do I hold? I hold a few shares of Coronas Technologies. I hold about 3 times as many shares of Coronas Fuels. It's I look at the technology, and I look at the ability to move the market, to change the market, to take over the market. And man, MagnaGas is some pretty awesome cutting fuel. If you've ever seen it used versus acetylene, it's about 4,000 degrees hotter, and it shows in how fast it cuts, and how deep it cuts, and how little slag is left over when it's done cutting. I mean, it's a smoother, cleaner cut with a cleaner burning fuel that is biorenewable. It's basically, they take old motor oil, apparently, old pharmaceutical waste. They take a lot of, you can use livestock waste in the machine, apparently, in this Venturi arc plasma, whatever the hell it is. It's a little smarter than me, but at the same time, it's kind of cool to be in on something like that. You never know what's going to happen. It could just all be fake, and they're doing a lot of green screen photography in Turkey and making me think that they're doing stuff when they're not. But sometimes you take a chance. 12 cents a share, I'll take a chance. I'll take a lot of chances. I'm over 1,000 shares in now, and my end goal is 5,000 to 10,000 shares before it has a significant pop. I honestly believe it's going to be a $20 billion company one of these days. It's going to be a few years. I don't have any intention of touching any of that stock for 2 to 5 years. 2 years, I would probably be looking to get my capital back out and leaving a lot of shares behind. And as I said, 5 years. Who knows? If it's a $120 stock, it could be pretty amazing to be in at the low price that I'm in right now. So, like I said, it's, I don't know, pie in the sky kind of thinking, I guess. I don't know. It's regular investors probably look at penny stock like Coronas. They've been sued before by investors. They've reverse splits, spin-off shares. I got my Toronas fuels from Toronas Tech, which was Magna at one time. I still hold them. They were never worth enough to sell, to be honest with you. And then I started reading about the company, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked what I was reading. I like what they're doing. If you look into their filings, they're basically taking over the small independent welding supply stores all throughout the Sun Belt. The most recent acquisition was one in Indiana, up in the Northeast, the Iron Belt, which, if you have a cutting fuel in the Iron Belt, that might be a good thing to have. Hopefully, proper investments, good research, long-term holds. Hopefully it all works out. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm 2 months in and down about 20% so far, but a lot of that is trading fees, and that's the rough part about penny stocks is nobody trades them for free. You might be able to find them for $4.95. I don't know. I pay $6.95 now. Maybe I could do better, but I like the platform E-Trade, and that's what I use for pennies. It seems to work. Basically, I'm accumulating. That's all I am doing. I'm not looking to sell. I'm not looking for a 2-cent jump. I'm not. No consideration of selling for a couple of pennies on the stocks I'm invested in. I look at Toronas, for example, which I see as a $20 billion company. I see if they take over propane and acetylene production. Acetylene production is $8 billion a year. I don't know what propane is, but I know that El Salvador is pretty interested in Toronas' technology to replace their dependence on foreign propane. They're importing $250 million a year of propane. They don't want to do, and Toronas can help them, hopefully. So I look at a company like Toronas. It's great technology. They've been around for 15 years. They've been MagnaGas before. It used to be Magna, was what their trading symbol was, MGNA. Got bought out by, or the sticker symbol changed to Toronas. I don't know how that all happened. I know Scott Mahoney, the CEO, got a lot of heat for some of his actions in the beginning. I don't know how the big investors feel about him now, but the last few filings or whatnot, press releases, the board decisions, the annual meetings, shareholder meetings and whatnot, what they've said they're going to do, they've been doing. It hasn't happened on the timeline, which, you know, can be frustrating, especially when you're waiting for news to happen. They've got a big project in Turkey right now where if they can supply 100 units of these gasification units, if they can supply 100 of those to Turkey in the next 24 months, Turkey's going to ban acetylene outright. All other metal cutting fuels. So I think it's something like that. And the connections that they have, they work with a consulting company that apparently has very good ties. I know that the board of Toronis has probably had more state meetings than a lot of ambassadors have had this year. They've sat with, you know, any Istan company you can think of in the Middle East, they've probably met with them. Bahrain, they had a very successful demonstration in February, and Bahrain is on board, but Toronis just doesn't have the production of their gasification units to make it a reality. So I know it's going to take some time, but once the time is there, I think they're in a really good spot, and I think they're in a good spot to take over the market, and that's what I look for in penny stocks. Another one that I like is TODMF Medical. They've got a cancer screening test that looks for molecular issues at the cell level. I mean, their technology is there. They use infrared and a centrifuge to spin the blood, and I don't know, it's pretty wild. I don't understand all the technology, but I understand that it's worked. They're close to FDA approval. They're working on their a trial right now, apparently, for their breast cancer, the TMB1 and TMB2, that assuming good results will be refunded by the FDA because it's that important of a test. So you look at an important test like that, something that the FDA is willing to pay for, and you take a chance. Are they going to make it? I sure hope so. Europe has given them the CE approval, and they're going to be marketing in Romania come September or October. Just TODMF Medical, I think that's trading about 8.5 cents right now. Great company. Oh my gosh, if I could tell you all the things the CEO is doing to help that company and grow that company. And then, you know, I look in the filings and I see why he's working so hard. He's got a $300,000 bonus to get that company listed on NASDAQ or NYSE. So where do you think his incentive is? His incentive is to grow his business to the point where it is worth something. He hasn't hired a PR firm. He is just making partnerships. They have some late-stage clinical therapy or clinical testing, I should say, for breast cancer, and an interesting take on Alzheimer's. That, you know, their theory is that Alzheimer's is a brain cancer, and that their blood test will be able to detect it because their blood test basically uses infrared to look for. Oh man, if I knew the explanation for it, I'd probably be in a different line of work, and I wouldn't be delivering pizzas on a Sunday night to earn an extra $50 to put into E-Trade. But you know, they're doing some crazy things, and while they were doing their cancer research, they realized that they were able to isolate viruses with their test. And COVID happened, and they were agile. They just jumped right on it. They, like I said, they came out with a PCR test that is allegedly one of the best in the business. And then they paired with an Israeli company that didn't have permission from FDA to import into the U.S. Well, guess what? TODMF has permission. They're based in Israel. And, yeah, I don't know. They're doing great things. They're buying their competition, which I think is genius. They buy their competition for the breast cancer blood test that's currently on the market. So now they've got a product they can sell. They took over, what was the name of the company? Man, Provista. Now, Provista, with that deal, what they got in exchange for stock, I don't think there was any cash involved. They got a CLIA certified lab. A CLIA certified lab is what you need to test for COVID. With that lab, they say they'll be able to do 1.4 million tests a week. 1.4 million tests a week. From what I've heard, the government pays about $100 a test. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a company that has never had revenue. So this company is sitting here trading at 8 cents a share, never had revenue. Until July, they reported just the other day that they had $550,000 in sales. So now a company with not really even a product, they're selling other people's stuff right now, joining partnerships with different companies and developing different technologies. But man, I see a company that is doing something. They're not trying to, I don't know, it doesn't feel like they're trying to get over. It feels like they're trying to get up. And you know what? I'm down for the ride. I actually sold a penny stock to buy a penny stock, which is the only time I've done it, and I don't think I'll do it again, but it was something that I felt was worth it, and I wanted to get in when I got in, which was a little bit more than it is now, but that's okay. What I've learned is that penny stocks, I can't be concerned about the day-to-day. I watch it all day, because, I mean, that's really... Man, I just wait for something to happen because I believe so much in the companies I'm investing in, so I watch it a lot, but I'm not doing a lot. The only thing I'm doing is putting more money into it. I said I've got other companies like Mota Ventures, which I felt pretty good about. They've done some things, they've made some acquisitions, they're doing good deals, but at the same time, they just hired a PR firm, which makes me nervous, makes me think pump and dump, makes me think, oh, damn, they're trying to get over. So, like I said, it's always risk and reward. I like to think that the companies that I researched are worthy. I hope. There's you know, I've got a couple of gold mines. One of them is late stage of permitting. They're not even digging gold yet. The other one is still in there. They just completed digging a bunch of holes, looking for their gold and seeing where it's going to be. So I don't, like I said, I know they're going to be long-term investments. I know it's not something that's just going to spike and peak overnight, and I know that there's the possibility that the company's going to need capital and they're going to dilute the shares a little bit. You know, they're going to have a $2 million sale of, you know, 8-cent shares of stock, which is a lot of shares added to the pool. But if it helps them, like Todos just did $2 million, and I wasn't really mad about it. I was like, well, you know, they needed the capital. They needed the capital to develop their products, to expand their territories. So, like I said, it's a lot of research. Penny stock aficionado. I love penny stocks. I just love the fact that you can get so many shares for so cheap. Uh-oh. Is this going to open? Hope this opens. Oh, God. Look at what we're up against. Oh, it opens towards you. Woo, that's close. We almost died delivering pizza for $1 million. It would have been worth it. No, but how do you make $1 million delivering pizza? Well, I tell you what I'm doing. I deliver pizzas one night a week. Considering 2 nights a week, since Rob can never get together to film video anyways on my days off. But I use the money to invest in E-Trade. That's kind of my reason for doing this. You know, I look at ways to make extra money. I eBay, but man, eBay is a lot of work, especially shipping the kinds of things that I sell. I'm a top-rated seller. I sell stereos. I buy vintage audio cheap locally, and I sell it for retail on eBay. It's a good little side income, but not very consistent sometimes, and you know, you get what you put into it, and lately I just haven't felt like doing it. I got a garage full of speakers that I can't sell because no one wants to, you know, spend the shipping, so I do this in my spare time. I have one night a week where I can do it and not affect my days off. And can I make $1 million? Well, I sure hope so.